I think that's going now. It started to just like crazy snow. Like sorry. I'm cleaning my lens here. Things felt blurry. It was raining. I'm sitting at my desk and I look out there and it is like full-blown blizzard at my house. So I'm not sure where that came from, but it's real wet out there today. Okay, so we are going to continue with our green today. So we're gonna use our lighter green. So I'm gonna be doing the 701, which, oh, let's see. Oh my gosh, I totally mixed them up. The bright colors on the pattern are backwards. So the dark green is 701 and the light green is 703. I'm sorry. Anyways, I'm using the 703, which is the lighter green. The lighter green on the pastels is 3348. That one's right. Dang it. I hate when I do that. Okay, so let's do some leaves. We're gonna do a fishbone stitch today. Hopefully my cats will chill. They have been like begging to go outside, but they really don't want to go out there. They'll just beg to come back in because it is so wet and cold. Anyways, all right, let's get started. Flip you around. Okay. Whoop. So we're gonna do this leaf, and this leaf. I probably will not do all three on the video, but we'll at least do one or two. So I'm gonna start up here just because of where my hoop stand is. If I try to do these ones down here, I'm gonna have to move my hoop and my hoop stand. So we will start here and do a fishbone stitch. One thing, let me find my marker. Cleaned up my desk. If you want to draw some lines, you can. So like a center line and then two parallel lines next to it. You don't have to draw this. Some people find it easier to visually see things that way, but that's kind of the lines that we're going to be working with. So I am going to use all 6 strands because I like a real chunky leaf. If you want to use less, go for it. You'll have to do more stitches to fill it in because there won't be as many strands to like fill the space, which is totally fine. I'm just letting you know. 6 will make it like super chunky. All right, so I've got my little knot. Well, let's get started. So with fishbone, what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the top of our leaf. And we're just gonna stitch 1 stitch down the middle, like halfway down. And then we're gonna come back up to the top, kind of on that line that we drew. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cross the center. So we're gonna come over here to this line to go down. And then the side that we went down on, we're now gonna come up on. So we're right here at the top. And we're gonna cross the center again, and we're gonna go parallel with this one, just on the other side. And we're gonna work that way all the way down our leaf. So whatever side we end on is the side we come up on. Across that center. Now the center line is there to kind of just help, first of all, puff up these first stitches, but also to just give us something to work around. This doesn't have to be super long. The center one, I usually just go halfway down just because that's what I'm used to doing. But this kind of just creates like a braided look. Now you can keep these like really close together, or you can like move down a little bit. I usually move down a little, but you can keep them like super close together if you want. You could also make them further apart. It's just gonna change the look a little bit depending on how close they are or how far apart they are. The cats are gonna start playing, I know it. They've been napping all day and now they want to go out and play. And I'm not letting them out, so they're gonna start chasing each other around my house. Now, if you get off on like, if these aren't meeting up exactly, it's fine. That's not the most important part. I would say the most important part is just making sure that you're crossing that center line to create that fishbone look. We're coming to the end of our leaf. That's okay. We're not gonna cover up this flower. We're just gonna stop right there. And then we won't cross over anymore because we don't have the room. But we still have to finish filling this part. So I'm just gonna go to the center here because we still wanna be able to cover up these stitches over here. And then the rest of these are just gonna end at the flower. And then just make sure you're just following your line so you can create that nice rounded leaf. Just gonna do one more, I think, and then we'll finish the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna come back up over here. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna go to this center just so I can cover up these two little stitches right here. And then the rest will just fall on that line of the flower. she's like thick and fluffy. I feel like it's really hard to show on video like how like puffy 6 strands is, but it's fun to use 6. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this over and tie it off, and then let me turn my hoop, and then I will do, and look at the back, it's kind of fun too. But let me turn this around, and then let's see if I can stitch. They're pretty fast, I feel like, but don't mind my messy desk. I don't clean my desk very often. Even when I do, this stuff stays here. Okay. I like to stitch like from top to bottom. So like if I'm holding my hoop, I'll just turn it and stuff. But if I'm in a hoop stand, then I have to like take it out and like physically move it, because I am able to get my stitches smoother if I'm working that way. So, okay, moving back in here. Okay, so let's start at the top. I'm gonna keep my 6 strands. You can start with either one. I'm just gonna start here because it makes sense. Now, I started this strand right here. There's a knot right there, so kind of keep in mind, like if you're having a hard time, there might be a knot. Let me just move that out of the way a little. Now, I'm not gonna draw lines on this one, so you can kind of see, like you don't have to have them. If it's your very first time, maybe it might help, but it's definitely not like a requirement. Trying to move back out. I didn't go quite to the top of my leaf, so I'm trying to move these stitches out a little bit slowly so I can get back on my line without messing up the shape. It's kind of a funny angle, huh? Hold on. I know I'm going back to the weather, but I cannot remember. We haven't had snow in March for years. I am like shocked at the amount of snow we've gotten this year. It's been incredible. It's still like, I wish I could show you. It's like giant, those like big, giant, fluffy snowflakes. They're probably like for reals, they're big. I'm not gonna enjoy it when it's time to go do carpool, but right now it's really pretty. Move that out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna do one more and then I need to get some more thread. There was a tornado warning for a neighboring county over here. That doesn't happen here. Holy cow. Giselle is in California. I have never had a tornado warning in Utah. I think we're too close to the mountains for that, but that's crazy. Well, and you guys had snow this year too. This weather has been crazy. Just crazy. I don't know why the new iPhones do that. The video just like bumps. Have you guys ever noticed that? I notice it all the time now since I got my new phone. It is super annoying. Same, we are surrounded by mountains. Yeah, snow, inches of it. I remember your video of it. Goodness. It's crazy. Yeah, we've had like feet and just so many feet of snow. We have like, I'm right by a canyon. Like we have a canyon, like it's like 5 minutes from my house. And just the little city that's over in the mountain. They had like 4 feet of snow at one time, like on the ground, 4 feet. Yes, I can't use my new phone for photos. Oh my gosh, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I am so frustrated with my new iPhone. Like even like the Zoom 2 or 3, like it is horrible. Like what was iPhone doing? I'm so frustrated. It makes me want to like send it back. That's why I get new phones, is to get better photos. So if I can't take good photos, then what was the point to paying for a new one? Oh, so frustrating. All right, I'll finish off this side. And then time has totally been fine. So I'm gonna stitch the other one as well. Hubby is annoyed too, said, what's the point to all these new cameras? Exactly, the new cameras are garbage. Like total garbage. Like if I zoom in with 2 or 3, it's like so grainy. I don't know what they were thinking. It is awful. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this a little bit on my desk. Okay, I'm going to, my thread is down here. I'm going to just come right up here and do this middle part first. I don't normally stitch a fishbone this way, but I'm gonna. I don't like to go from here and just over a tiny bit. I feel like it doesn't hold my threads as well. So I'm gonna come back down here and do this stitch first. And then I have it's got a little bit more fabric right here. So now I can come over and do my second one. That's usually how I get around like the weird, I feel like it's so zoomed in. It's like the same thing, like it's the phone. I usually use my old phone for filming because it does better quality, which is so dumb. It's old. It's like an iPhone 11 or something. Okay, so just be careful when you're like working around these French knots that you did yesterday. Because we don't want to ruin them. So when I'm coming up, I just like to make sure that I don't have like any thread wrapped around that or something before I start pulling it. Sorry I'm late. I was picking up my girls from school. Are you using all 6 strands? Yes. I'm using all 6 strands. This is the lighter green. It's 703 or 3348. And I mentioned it at the very beginning that the pattern is backwards on the brights. I swapped the light and the dark greens, so I'm sorry. Yes, the 11 Pro Max is still my go-to. Yes. That's what I had, is the 11 Pro Max, and I went with the 14 Pro Max, and it is bad. Like, who is talking to Apple about this? You're welcome. But my phone died last night, and I didn't realize it, so it is charging. Or else I would be still using. Okay, so once I start to get to the bottom, I don't do them parallel anymore. Sorry, I should have been talking about this instead of my phone issues. Once I get to the bottom, if I'm not going straight like I was with this flower, then I start to just kind of stay in the middle, but I still cross them. So like, let me pull out a couple of these so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So about right here, I start to just kind of move them closer to the middle. And so they are just barely off from each other. So this one will still cross over, but it's still in the middle. And then we're kind of at the point right there. So I'm gonna do one more over here to the point. And then I usually like to do one more on each side, and I don't have it go into the point. I'm just gonna slide it under. So I'm kind of like pushing, I'm going down at an angle and kind of pushing that thread out of the way. Kind of just like rounds that out a little bit. Same thing, kind of going down at an angle and up at an angle. There. I'm gonna turn her around so we can see her at the right angle. There she is. She's a beaut. Okay, so these 3 fishbone stitch, 6 strands, and that's all we're gonna do today. Let me tell you what we're gonna do tomorrow. Yeah, we're just gonna keep working on this side. We're gonna do these purple flowers over here. And Friday we'll work on this one over here. We'll just fill it up on one side and then we'll move along. So anyways, thanks for joining me today. Let me know if you have questions on the fishbone. And yeah, I will see you back tomorrow. We'll add some more color. Yay! Are we excited for purple? I am. I like purple. Okay, have a good afternoon and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.